You ever wanted something so bad it hurts? Like your heart won't rest until it happens? That's how Talia felt. And this is her fight. Talia was 16, quiet in class but loud in her dreams. While other girls talked about fashion, she watched replays of Chelsea Green's matches. She studied every move, every shout. But when she told her mom she wanted to wrestle, her mom laughed. Wrestling? Baby, that's not for you. The words hit harder than a punch. At home, her small room was covered with posters of WWE stars. But her favorite was Chelsea Green, bold, fearless, and smiling like she feared nothing. Every night, Talia watched Chelsea's matches on her cracked phone screen. She studied how Chelsea walked into the ring like she owned it. How she stared down her opponents, unshaken. How she fell hard but always got back up. That part, getting back up, was what Talia loved most. She wanted to feel that same fire, that same power. Not just to win fights, but to stand for something. To show everyone that girls like her, black, young, often unseen, could rise, too. Her classmates didn't understand. When she talked about wrestling, they laughed. Why not be a model or a singer? One girl said. Talia forced a smile but said nothing. They didn't see what she saw. They didn't feel what she felt when she watched Chelsea climb the ropes, raise her arms, and defy every doubt. At dinner one night, Talia finally said it out loud. Mom, I want to be a wrestler. Her mom stopped mid-bite. What did you just say? A wrestler. Like Chelsea Green. Her mom blinked, then burst out laughing. Wrestling? Baby, that's not for you. You'll break your bones before you break a record. That's not a real dream. The words hit harder than a punch. Talia stared down at her plate, her chest tight. Her father looked up from his phone but didn't say a word. Her little brother snickered. You? In WWE? You can't even climb the monkey bars. That night, Talia lay awake staring at the ceiling. The laughter echoed in her head. She turned on her phone and watched Chelsea's latest match again. There was a moment where Chelsea fell, hard, clutching her knee, but then she stood up, face fierce and unbroken. Talia whispered to the screen, If she can, maybe I can too. She got out of bed, tiptoed to her window, and peeked out into the dark. The city was quiet, but inside her chest something was awake, something that wouldn't let her sleep. She didn't have money for a gym. She didn't have anyone cheering for her. But she had will. So she started small, push-ups beside her bed, jumping jacks in her room, stretches until her arms shook. Every time her body hurt, she imagined the crowd screaming her name. Every time her muscles burned, she pictured Chelsea smiling from the ring. When the sun rose, she hid her workout clothes under the bed before her mom came in. She pretended everything was normal. But deep down, she knew something had changed. She wasn't just watching her dream anymore. She was chasing it, quietly, secretly, but with everything she had. And somewhere deep inside, Talia made a promise to herself. One day, the world would know her name. That night, Talia couldn't sleep. The words from dinner kept replaying in her mind, her mother's laugh, her brother's teasing. It was like each sound was pushing her down, daring her to quit before she even began. But something inside her refused to die. She sat up, opened her old laptop, and stared at the blinking cursor. Her hands trembled as she typed. I want to be like you. Everyone says I can't. What should I do? She read it 5 times before pressing send. Her heart pounded like it wanted to jump out of her chest. She didn't really expect a reply. Chelsea Green was famous. Busy. Important. People like her didn't answer girls like Talia. She was about to close the laptop when, ping! A message popped up. From Chelsea Green. Talia froze, her mouth open. Her eyes darted across the screen as she read the words again and again. Don't wait for permission. Start now. Small steps turn into big wins. Talia covered her mouth. Tears spilled before she could stop them. Someone she admired, someone who made the world listen, had spoken directly to her. It didn't matter that it was just a few words. It felt like a spark had been lit inside her. That night, she made a decision. No more waiting. No more asking. She found old videos of beginner wrestling moves and workout routines. She cleared space in her room, pushed her bed against the wall, and began. At first, she could barely do 5 push-ups. Her arms shook, her knees ached, and her breathing came in short gasps. But she didn't stop. She did 10, then 15, then 20. When her arms burned, she imagined Chelsea shouting from the sidelines, "Keep going!" When she fell during a flip and hit the mat too hard, she bit her lip and got up again. Her knees turned purple, her palms blistered, but she kept hearing the same words. Start now. Small steps. Big wins. Soon she discovered a small boxing gym a few blocks from school. It wasn't fancy, just an old warehouse with cracked floors and the smell of sweat, but it had what she needed: space, weights, and a mirror. The coach, an older man named Rick, watched her from across the room. "You sure you're in the right place, kid?" he asked one day. Talia nodded. "I'm sure." Rick raised an eyebrow, then shrugged. "If you're serious, prove it. Be here every day." And she was. She trained until the lights went out. But secrets don't stay hidden forever. One night, after a long session, Talia sneaked through the back door, her clothes drenched in sweat. She tiptoed toward her room, but her mother was waiting in the hallway. Her mom's eyes widened when she saw the bruises on Talia's arms. "Where have you been?" "Gym," Talia said quietly. "Gym? You've been sneaking around." Her mother's voice rose. "You'll get hurt. You're not built for this. This is not your world." Talia's throat tightened. She wanted to explain, to tell her how much it meant to her. But she knew her mom wouldn't understand. So she took a deep breath, stood tall, and said softly, "Watch me." Then she walked past her mother and into her room, heart pounding but unbroken. That night, she wiped away her tears, wrapped her bruised knees, and whispered to herself, "I'm not stopping. Not now. Not ever." Because somewhere deep inside, she knew. Chelsea was right. Dreams don't wait for permission. Months passed. The days blended together: school, gym, secret training, and more bruises than she could count. Talia had stopped caring about the laughter. Her focus was sharp, her heart steady. Every time she felt tired, she replayed Chelsea's message in her mind, "Start now." Small steps turn into big wins. Then one morning, while scrolling through her phone before school, she saw it. A post from WWE, "Open tryouts coming to Atlanta." Her heart nearly stopped. Atlanta. That was her city. Her chance. She screenshot the post immediately. The date was 2 weeks away. She had 2 weeks to be ready for everything she'd dreamed of, and everything she feared. From that moment, Talia trained like a storm. She ran before sunrise, lifted weights after school, and practiced her moves in the empty boxing ring when no one else was watching. She taped her wrists, bruised her shins, and pushed past the pain until her lungs burned. She didn't tell her mother. She didn't tell anyone. This was her secret mission. The night before the tryout, she laid out her worn sneakers, a plain black tank top, and her lucky wristbands, the ones she'd worn since she started training. Her stomach twisted with fear, but her spirit felt alive. "Tomorrow," she whispered to the dark, "I become her." Before the first light touched the sky, Talia was already on a bus headed downtown. Her bag rested on her lap, her fingers gripping the straps like they were keeping her courage from slipping away. When she reached the arena, her breath caught in her throat. The line wrapped around the building. Men and women twice her size stretched and flexed, laughing loudly. She looked small among them, but she refused to shrink. A tall woman behind her looked down and said, "You sure you're in the right place, kid?" Talia nodded, even though her knees felt weak. "Yeah, I'm sure." Inside, the air buzzed with energy. Trainers shouted. The ring in the middle gleamed under the lights. It looked bigger than she'd imagined, like a mountain she had to climb. Then she saw her. Chelsea Green. Standing near the ropes, clipboard in hand, her hair shining under the lights. Talia froze. For a second, she couldn't move. Her hero was real, right there, watching the ring. Chelsea's eyes met hers. Recognition flashed. She smiled. "Ready to show them?" Talia nodded, her throat tight. When her name was called, she stepped into the ring. The mat felt springy under her feet, the lights hot on her face. Around her, the crowd whispered and laughed. "She's too small," someone said. "This won't take long." The bell rang. Talia took a deep breath and charged. She moved faster than anyone expected. She ducked, twisted, rolled, and flipped. Every hit she took, she gave back harder. The laughter stopped. The whispers turned to cheers. Chelsea watched closely, her eyes sharp, her arms crossed. Then, disaster. Talia landed awkwardly after a jump. A sharp pain tore through her leg. She gasped, collapsing to the mat. The world blurred around her. She tried to stand, but her knee buckled. The room spun. Someone shouted for the medics. Talia's vision darkened, her ears ringing. The last thing she saw before everything went black was Chelsea's face leaning over her, worry in her eyes. For a moment, silence. And then, nothing. A slow, steady beeping filled the room. Talia's eyes fluttered open to blinding white light. The air smelled of medicine and metal. For a moment, she didn't know where she was, or why her leg hurt so badly. Then it all rushed back. The ring. The fall. The crowd's gasp. Her throat tightened. She tried to sit up, but a soft hand pressed against her shoulder. "Easy," a gentle voice said. Talia blinked and saw her mother sitting beside the bed, eyes red and swollen from crying. But there was someone else there too, someone she never thought she'd see up close. Chelsea Green. Her hero. Her inspiration. The woman whose voice had pushed her through every bruise and every late-night workout. Chelsea was holding her hand. For a long moment, Talia couldn't speak. Tears rolled down her cheeks before she even realized she was crying. Chelsea smiled softly. "Hey, champ. Why are you here?" Talia whispered, her voice shaky. "Because you earned it," Chelsea said. "You didn't lose out there, Talia. You showed heart. That's what makes a wrestler." Talia blinked, confused. "But I fell. I couldn't even finish." Chelsea shook her head. "You stood up to every doubt, every fear, and every person who said you couldn't. That's bigger than any match." Her mother reached for her hand too, eyes full of regret. "Baby, I didn't know how much this meant to you. I was scared. I didn't want you to get hurt." Talia looked at her mother's trembling hands, the same hands that had tried to protect her from pain. For the first time, she understood. It wasn't laughter or doubt that made her mom say no. It was fear. Fear of seeing her daughter fall. Talia squeezed her mom's hand gently. "I did get hurt, Mom. But it was worth it." Chelsea smiled again. "You've got a fighter's soul, Talia. The world should know your story." The next morning, Chelsea kept her promise. She posted Talia's story online, pictures from the tryout, a photo of Talia training, and a few powerful words. "Meet Talia. 16 years old. She didn't win the match, but she won hearts. She reminded me what true courage looks like." Within hours, the post exploded. Thousands of people shared it. News outlets wrote about her. Hashtag Team Talia started trending. Talia watched the comments scroll across her phone screen, disbelief in her eyes. People from all over the world were cheering for her. Kids saying she inspired them. Women saying she made them believe again. And then, a week later, came the call. Her mother was folding laundry when the phone rang. The voice on the other end was calm, professional, but the words made her drop the clothes to the floor. "This is WWE Talent Development. We saw Chelsea's post. We'd like to invite Talia to join our youth training program when she turns 18. Her mother ran into Talia's room, tears streaming down her face. "Baby, you did it." Talia took the phone, her heart pounding. She could barely speak. "Yes," she said softly. "Yes, I'll be there." When she hung up, she sat on her bed, silent, smiling through the tears. She thought about that first message she sent to Chelsea, the words that started everything. "Everyone says I can't. What should I do?" Now she whispered the answer back to herself, the same words that had carried her through every fight, every fall, every moment of doubt. Dreams don't wait for permission. And this time she knew. She didn't need anyone's. Months later, she walked into the ring again, this time stronger, wiser, and fearless. The crowd chanted her name. She raised her fist high, knowing the girl who once cried in secret had become her own hero. If someone ever tells you your dream is too big, look them in the eye and say, "Watch me."